What's going on, guys? Tallen back here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new big winter update that we have for Battlefield 1 right now. I'm a little late on this just because I had other videos to take care of, and I was away for a couple days, but nonetheless, I am back. We're going to get into this information, and is it really going to improve the game? And also, a little bit of news on the CTE that we have officially started getting now, at least on the PC side of things. PS4 and Xbox, I guess Sony and Microsoft are waiting to get through a little bit more details to allow you guys to access that stuff, but I'll talk about that later in the video as we go on. So first off, the big winter update, if you have not downloaded it, just go into the game and it's going to download no matter what. PlayStation and Xbox is going to download for you automatically. PC, you just log on to Origin and it's going to do the exact same thing. Easy peasy, okay? So first off, let's go into some of the big changes when it comes to this update. I'm not going to go through every single one about, fixing this, specific UI thing or whatever. I will leave a link in the description below for the entire list, but I'm going to go over the big ones and what it means for the future of the game, essentially, and what I hope that they are starting to do as they continue on with these patches, and then we'll jump into the CTE at the end, and then we'll go from there, okay? So first off, we have something that we have had for a long time in Battlefield games, but for some reason was not in the Battlefield 1 for some reason, and that is ribbons. I don't remember if Bad Company 2 had ribbons per se. I think they had medals essentially, but it's pretty much the same thing. Get 5 kills in a match and you get a medal or a ribbon. Get 7 kills, get 2 headshots, get 2 saviors, whatever it might be. So we finally have ribbons in the game, which is really, really nice. There's a total of 20 right now, with more coming along the way. Each one is worth 300 XP, and there's no limit on how many you can get. So if you continue to go on a huge kill streak, then yeah, by all means, there you go. You'll get tons of medals for that. So, and it's really nice. You can work towards a bunch of different ones, and I really, really am glad that they brought that back. As to why they were not in the game in the first place, I'm not sure. I'm going to say rushed game. I'm not really sure. But yeah, anyway. Next is going to be what they're calling Codex, or Elite Codex, essentially. But the way I look at it as is the Mastery Dog Tags from Battlefield 4. If you don't remember, if you got, I think it was 500 kills with a certain weapon, aside from the pistols, I don't remember if the pistols could allow you to get it as well. But if you got a primary weapon up to 500 kills, then you unlocked a medal for it. In this, however, we are going to get Codex, essentially, or what basically are weapon skins, and there's only a certain amount available right now, but they are planning to add more, into my knowledge, as the future of the game continues and everything. Now, one thing I did notice though is that, let's say you've taken a certain weapon right now and you have 450 kills with it, and then the patch comes out and you get, okay, I just need 50 more kills and I'm gonna unlock this thing. Unfortunately, no, that is not the case here. You have to get the moment that the patch started, you have to get 500 kills. The moment you've gotten 500 kills as of the patch afterwards, then you can get your little elite codec thing and attach it to your gun and be like, woo, I'm fancy, look at me, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, there you go. That is how you get it, unfortunately. And you will also be awarded some experience points as you get it, so not too bad in that case. Next update is going to be the class max ranks. Now, as of right now, you get up to around class rank 3, so for snipers, assault, and all that stuff, get up to class rank 3 and you can unlock most of the gadgets for it. And then from 4 to 9 is basically nothing. And then getting up to 10, you get a mastery class weapon, essentially. Now, they're not necessarily the best weapons for the class, but they are there nonetheless. So now what they've done now is they've increased the maximum class rank up to 50, and so that's quite a ways away. But what you do is you basically get this little logo. Hopefully you're seeing it on the screen right now. It's only about yay big, give or take, but nonetheless, every time you hit every 10 levels or so, you'll get a certain colored little icon for it, essentially. So, bronze, silver, gold, I think platinum's the final one or something like that. I'm not very good at colors, unfortunately, because of my eyes. But nonetheless, you'll get all these different ones the more you rank up. And then when you hit rank 50, it's going to be, ooh, kind of fancy, like, hey, I hit rank 50 kind of thing. So it is for all the classes, I believe including the vehicles as well, which is pretty cool. Now, the one thing I don't know is since vehicles are technically categorized as, tanks, normal vehicles, airplanes, all the things. I don't know if vehicles are, combined as one, or if they're separate, like tanks are one and airplanes are another, because when you're going for ribbons and everything, there is a tank ribbon. You'll get like 7 kills with a tank, I believe, and you get that ribbon, and I'm assuming there's a plane one as well. But for the class rank, I'm not really sure if vehicles are just lumped into one. Let me know down in the comments below if I am wrong, but hopefully that is the case. So yeah, but I mean, it's not a special thing with this max class rank, but hey, I guess it's a little bit of eye candy for you, I guess. So next is going to be pretty good to all those who rent servers and everything. We get a bunch of server updates, which honestly, again, should have been in the beginning, but hey, they are here and now, so I'm not going to be complaining. I personally don't rent servers because I don't have the money for it, really. But for those who do, I totally support anyone who gives out custom servers, brings in the good maps for rotations and everything, and just gives you all the correct and good settings that we all wish were just in the normal servers that the DICE people provide, and go from there. So right now, you can, as admins, you can RSVP and all that stuff. You can kick people finally from your servers, and you can keep a list and track them if they're trying to get back in and things like that. Or if you've seen how many people you've kicked in, and then maybe you said, oh, wait, this guy wasn't supposed to be kicked, you can put this guy back or anything. So that's really cool. On top of that, we finally have the map rotation voting system now, where you can select what map, so at the end of the match, 2 maps will appear in the bottom part of the screen, and you basically select which one. It's going to tell you how many people have voted for that, and then by the end of the 30 seconds or whatever you have between matches, they're going to allow you to then say, okay, well, this amount of people voted for this much, this amount of people voted for this map, and boom, we're going to go to this winner of the map here. So that's actually really, really nice, which is cool. Now, in terms of if it's going to be on DICE official servers, from what I've heard, it is on a select few. It's not on all of them, so hopefully that will change over time. I'm not really sure. So yeah, we'll have to stick around for that later. A bunch of other updates. You got some vehicle improvements to driving and third person and everything. Some UI changes, which are, to the kill log and, pretty much anything like that. So it's all little stuff. Like I said before, I'm going to leave this link down in the description below, and you can go and check out every little detail if you want to. The main one I love, and hopefully it's enough. I haven't played much of the patch yet, but I'm hoping it is enough, aside from, obviously your cluster maps, essentially. But they have reduced the gas. Yes, gas grenades have finally gotten a little bit of a nerf that we've been wanting. Now, if only we could just get, less grenades in total on the field. But, this is a video game. We're going to get them no matter what. But essentially, the gas grenades duration has gone from 22 seconds to 15 seconds. I think it needs to go down just a little bit more, maybe 10. I would say 10 seconds, honestly. But nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction, and I think DICE is probably going, okay, if this doesn't change it drastically enough, then we will make more improvements as is. So hopefully, yeah, that will help us out in the end. Now, in terms of anything else that's really big, the only other things that I personally saw that I liked a lot was the fact that in custom game modes now, on servers and everything, especially if you are renting your own server, you can add custom game modes to toggle off the behemoths if you don't like them, or also toggle on squad leader only spawns, which I remember them trying to do in Battlefield 4 for a little bit, but then people got a little mad about it, and so they allowed it to be an option, essentially, to say, okay, you can only spawn on your squad leader, or you can spawn on anyone in your squad, or, on a point or whatever. So those are, if you like that kind of mode, or you like that kind of setting in your games, then by all means, go ahead. And yeah, so that should be pretty good. Other than that, like I said before, most of it is the usual long list of stuff that most people probably don't experience, or, some do, and then, they've tweaked damages and distances and all that kind of stuff. So that's not too bad. Now what I want to get into is the spectator, or no, sorry, not spectator mode, the CTEs. Sorry, CTE. Now, if you don't know what CTE stands for, it stands for Community Test Environment. And if you played Battlefield 4 and you were a premium member, then you should know that we also had a CTE, and CTE saved Battlefield 4 like no tomorrow. It is a completely different game. I applaud DICE LA for taking Battlefield 4 and just completely fixing pretty much everything. I'm sure there's a few things here and there people nitpick at, but they saved that game like no tomorrow, and I loved CTE. The only thing I had against it, however, was 2 things. One, you can never really find people in those servers to test the stuff, and the reason for that, and this goes on to my second reason, is you had to be a premium member, which I did not like at all. Now, I am a premium member for both Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, so I could get in, but that doesn't excuse the fact that if you allowed more people to get into these things, then that would probably help the game in the long run. I still don't know if DICE opened up the CTE to non-premium members. I don't think they did for Battlefield 4, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. So anyway, so with Battlefield 1 right now, though, we have the CTE available, and if you want to get access to it, you have to go through their little app, essentially. So if you go on to either your iOS device or your Android, download the app and sign in, and then you go into like the settings part, and you go to things like it's just literally say CTE on it or something like that, and you hit accept for the terms and conditions, and it says okay, you are now downloading it. And this is all for PC, by the way, PS4 and Xbox One. This has not been finished yet because of Microsoft and Sony, I guess, so you have to wait for that. But anyway, on PC, on the little app, you will hit accept, and then you can go into Origin, and you will see that it's downloading. Just refresh your games, essentially. Now, if you're signed into it already and it's not showing up for you, what I've heard is simply log out, log back in on the app, and then it will allow you to do that. So, in terms of me trying to play CTE, again, this comes down to the fact that non-premium members are not allowed on it, which I hate a lot. But I can barely find any servers. I mean, I've jumped on from any time pretty much during the day, and I still can't find anyone really playing. Or if I do, it's in a server in Europe, and my ping is horrible. And I'm not gonna try to play on a server like that to bog down everyone else's experiences. As much as I'd love to try and get some gameplay, I'm just not gonna do that. So yeah, that's kind of a downside right there. So I really hope that DICE will open this up. You know, I understand first, you know, you don't want to just hand this out to everybody because then the servers are gonna go crazy and everything. So I understand that they're only allowing premium members for now, and then maybe like in a month or so after everything's been sorted out and everything, then allow non-premium members to start coming in. You'll slowly and start inviting people and everything like that. If you want to do that and that's what you're waiting for, then perfect, by all means. If you are not gonna bring in non-premium members, that is your loss, and it's gonna hurt the game in the long run. So you have better chances of allowing more people to have access to the CTE. And I personally think it would benefit the game in the long run. Now, what is the CTE bringing to us? What does it do exactly? Well, essentially what it is it's a beta version of the game, and it allows DICE to simply just update it more constantly over and over again. Now, on PC, this has never really been a problem, but we all know that from the PlayStation 4 versions and the Xbox One versions, that Sony and Microsoft have to okay updates in order to allow the updates to go through to make sure it doesn't mess with the hardware systems and all that kind of stuff. So that does drag the time that it takes to finish a patch and then send it to them and say, okay, check, check, check. Okay, now you can put the patch out. And since they want to make sure that the game on all platforms is on the same patch, that drags it down a little bit. So with the CTE, at least, they can constantly update it pretty much almost every other day, it seems, sometimes. They did that with Battlefield 4. I remember there was a time where I was definitely getting an update almost every other day, it seemed. And this allows them to update it more, and we can say it and be like, oh, we like this, actually, bring it back to this. Or, oh, okay, actually, I like this. Let's keep it this way, which is pretty nice. I've heard that once the first DLC comes out, that they will, on the CTE, to start with at least, they're going to be looking at higher hertz servers, essentially. So like right now we all have 60 hertz servers, so they're going to start looking at 120, which I think is mostly only going to benefit PC as of right now. I'm not sure about the consoles, so we'll have to see how that happens. But I remember trying out the 120 hertz servers on PC for Battlefield 4 in the CTE, and they're pretty nice. So definitely hope that starts to become a normal thing. It doesn't really matter if you don't have maybe, say, a beast of a machine, but if you at least have a 60 hertz monitor or 144 hertz monitor, which I think are starting to become a little bit of norm for PC players, then it definitely does make a difference. I can tell a little bit of a difference, and it definitely is very nice. There's going to obviously be other updates. I've even heard that they're going to bring in the maps from the first DLC, and they're going to put them into the CTE for us to test and everything. Some people seem to be on the fence about this. Some people like it because we get to test out the new maps and make sure things work before it's released to the public, and others are kind of like, well, what's the point? I mean, yes, you get it no matter what if you're a premium member, but you know, then it kind of takes away from that, you know, ooh, a new shiny toy kind of thing, or a new shiny map, essentially. So, I don't know. I mean, I like being able to say, okay, let's make sure that the maps actually do work, and if they're more beta versions of the map, and they say, okay, by the way, half this part of the map is not even on here, but it is going to be in the final release of the DLC, then cool, by all means, I have no problem with that. So, we'll have to see exactly what they bring. Like I said, this is all, I've only heard this. They are currently, as of right now, the new maps are not on the CTE version of the game, because that DLC is supposed to be coming out in March, so I don't know what's going to be happening. I hear there's supposed to be an update this week as of March 19th when I'm recording this, So we'll have to see exactly. So yeah. But other than that, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Just basically a big update, essentially. Hopefully the winter update you have downloaded and everything and you has been improving the game. It's definitely brought some improvements to it. You know, obviously they have to continue this and keep updating it over and over again until they can make it as best as they can. But so far, step in the right direction. One last thing I did forget to mention is that they are supposed to be fixing the progress system in the game. A lot of people have been complaining about it since the launch of the game. I personally found it very underwhelming. I didn't even bother with it. And it's definitely a step down or step back, I guess, from Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. So they are looking at that, hopefully, and I guess we're supposed to be seeing a lot of those changes in the CTE, and then hopefully when the DLC comes out, we'll start to see a lot of those changes into the vanilla version of the game, which is pretty nice. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this gave you a lot of information and updates that you were looking for if you do play Battlefield 1, that is. So, and if you haven't, you know, it is a pretty fun game. You can definitely find it on sale a lot, especially on Amazon and everything, if you're kind of on the fence about getting it. I personally like it, and I will be streaming it this weekend along with some Overwatch because I was doked out from the last couple weeks. So yeah, I'm definitely be doing that, and I hopefully will be jumping on with Nanogenix, aka Tyler, if you know him, and because we plan to do that. Hopefully we can, as long as his voice is getting better. So hope you're doing better, man. But yeah, we hope they'll be streaming that this weekend. I have not nailed down a time/date yet, but we will let you know, and make sure you follow us on Twitter to make sure that you keep up to date and everything on that. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you are new, guys. And until next time, I will see you in the next one.